What's up, guys? I believe we are live now. Welcome to Sunday Stock Study. A little bit later than what I was expecting to. We were waiting for Bless to come in, and I guess he's having some Wi-Fi issues and things, so um, he might join us here in a little bit. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. But um, yeah. So just to so today, I want to talk about a couple things. I did a poll on Twitter, so we'll go over that here in a second. But before we get started, make sure if you're watching on the replay, you like, subscribe, share the videos with your friends, with the friendly, and so they could watch on a weekly basis as well. So we do a little podcast style talk at the beginning of our Sunday's stock study, and then we also do some technical analysis towards the end as well. So jumping right in, guys. Today we're going to talk about short-term discomfort for long-term success or vision achievement. So on Twitter, if you guys take a look, let me see if I can get this here for you guys. Move myself out the way. So on Twitter, I did a poll. So it says, would you have the balls to saw your arm off with the dull pocket knife, like the guy did in 127 hours? So for you guys that don't know, there's a movie called 127 Hours where this guy was actually hiking through some slot canyons in Utah, I believe, Utah or Arizona, and somehow he fell or something happened. He fell into the slot canyon and his arm got stuck in between it got wedged in a boulder and the side of the canyon or what have you. And I don't know exactly. I know he was in there for a total of 127 hours or whatever, but I don't know how long he waited until he actually started to try to cut his arm off so that he would be cut free. But 127 hours, right? So that's so 4 days is 100 hours. So 5 days, almost a week in the slot canyon without any food or water or who knows what else, right? It's a really good movie. I don't know when it came out. It's been out for quite a while, but it's a really good movie if you want to check it out. But the guy fell in the slot canyon and he was down there for about 4 or 5 days. And eventually he took out a pocket knife. I believe it was a pocket knife from his bag, and he wound up sawing off his arm in order to be able to free himself and get out of the slot canyon. Which is just crazy, right? So you're in the situation where that you've waited to see if someone could come find you, or if there's help coming, or you know what I mean, and no one comes. So you have to make a decision. Well, you're gonna stay there, or you're gonna do something about it, and to move and progress forward. And so he eventually cuts his arm off and frees himself in order to be able to get out of the slot canyon. So which brings me to I want to tie it into trading and everything, right? So I want to tie it into trading and everything, and so pretty much that we have in trading we have stop losses, and we don't want to exit out of trades, especially if you're under PDT, right? So if you're under PDT, so pattern day trade rule, it's really hard for you to get out of a trade that you're in, because that you only have 1 or 2 more trades left, for that 5-day period, and you don't want to lose that money. You don't want to lose that opportunity to be able to make money, because what happens, a lot whenever you stop out in a trade, it winds up going in your direction, right? It winds up going in your favor. So I know it's hard. I know I've been in that situation. I've been in that situation with a small account where you're sitting there trying to weigh your options on if you do stop out, okay, you only have 2 more trades. If you do, try to move forward, and you do, keep your position, you run the risk of, losing even more money, because, you're wrong in the trade, right? So these are the biggest things in trading and in life in general that we need to do is we need to, control these short-term wants, short-term desires in order to get the long-term fulfillment. So if you're thinking about trading in all of trading in just this trade, right? So you're only thinking of this trade and winning this trade, you're going to lose every single time. But if you're thinking of trading as far as a career or, as this huge journey, right? Then you know that this one losing trade is just a, a bump in the road. There's always, the next trade. There's always another ticker to be able to come, and there's always another setup that's going to come along in order for you to prosper. And so, and sometimes things are gonna suck. Like they're gonna suck. You're just gonna have to like grit down, bite the bullet, and say this is gonna suck, but it's gonna be worth it in the long term, right? So, with that being said, um, I compare it a lot to weightlifting. So I don't know how much you guys know about me, but well, within this last year, I haven't been going to the gym too much because I've been focusing on the business a lot. But I'm making an effort to go back to the gym and everything with the 75 hard, and and I used to powerlift a lot. I'm not powerlifting as much as anymore. I want to be a little bit more athletic, faster on my feet and lighter on my feet and whatnot. But I used to powerlift, and more than anything, it was a good way to good outlet for aggression and things like that. So, and I knew it sucks. Like if you've ever deadlifted, and especially if you've ever deadlifted with the deadlift bar, the knurling on it is very thick. Like it's very rough and rugged. I mean, you get calluses on your hands, and then it rips your calluses, and I don't know if I have a picture of just my calluses on my hands, but I wanna play a video for you of me deadlifting here, and it's one of those things where you have like 500 pounds in your hands, and it's gonna suck. Like it takes everything you have in your body in order for you to put that will into the weight and pick it up off the ground. But in the long term, it's gonna make you stronger. Just getting it over with, just getting through your workout and getting it over with. So real quick, we'll look at this video.
Up, drive.
So that's it there, and yeah, it like I said, it sucks. Like it sucks. I would sometimes I'm just like I'm tired, I'm hungry. I don't want to pick up this weight, and you just have to like say like I'm not going to be a little bitch about it. I'm going to get what needs to be done and move forward. So that in my goal at the time was to lift 500 pounds. So 505 pounds, which is 5 plates on each side. I believe 5 plates, 5 or 6 plates on each side. And I wasn't going to get there if I took the easy way, or I didn't do the work then at that moment, right? So the same thing with trading. So you're never gonna progress forward if you're looking at just the short term and what could be accomplished in the short term. You got to have that long term vision. And I'm just looking to see if there's like a picture of the way my hands used to look. No, I don't see one. Maybe it's in the archive or something, but um, yeah. So I don't see it in there, but so in the long term, right? So in the long term, it wasn't. That was my goal, and that's what I wanted to accomplish. So that it happens a lot, like in everyday life, right? I mean, if you want, so many people are unhappy with their weight and their bodies and body image and self esteem and things like that. They say that they're going to start a diet on Monday or whatever, but it's so easy for you, or like even financially, right? So even financially, you say you're going to save money or you want a big goal, right? I mean, you want to buy a nice truck or whatever you enjoy, right? You want to save your money for, and you're constantly at Starbucks every day, though. It's so easy for you to go and stop at Starbucks on your way to work every morning, and I've been there. I've been there, guys, where it's $7 to $10 a day at Starbucks, and it winds up being a monthly bill of $300 to $400. It's absolutely outrageous, and and if you were to just hold out on those uh, short-term wants, right? So those short-term outlooks on things where you actually you want that in the short term and focus on the long term of what you actually do want, then you would be way more successful at whatever you put your mind to. So I know it sucks. I know it sucks in trading where putting a stop loss. I know you don't want to put a stop loss to be stopped out, and then you're under PDT in it, and then you only have two more trades for the week. I know it's hard to get out of a trade when it's going against you, and you think, oh, well, maybe it'll bounce here. Oh, eventually it'll go up, or hopefully it'll go up, or and that's just no way to trade. So there's no room for hope in trading, and you just have to deal with what you actually see on the chart at that moment in the price action. So that's my little talk as far as um, our kind of podcast, what we're talking about today. So uh, focus on your vision, focus on your big goals that you want. Especially now we are in 2020. It's a brand new year, and I bet you have all these goals you want to accomplish. And don't take the easy way. Don't take the easy way on things. Don't you know if trading's your if it has to do with trading, then use your stop losses. Get out of your trades when your thesis is invalid on your trade and it's proven invalid at that point. Stop out and then reevaluate, walk away, and come back to your desk and when you have a little bit more level-headed mind and look for another trade. I can't tell you how many times where there's that sense of relief as soon as you get out of a trade that that you held longer than you needed to, right? And it sucks. It sucks, and it's a bad feeling, and it's like that with everything else as well. You feel as soon as there's nothing stronger than building momentum. So if you do it once, then you can do it twice, then you do it three times, and then it just becomes habit after that. You build that sense of habit where it's muscle reaction, and you're not even thinking about it at that point. You're going to be driving to work, and you're going to be driving past Starbucks, and you're not going to stop anymore. You're not going to stop at McDonald's on your way home from work. Spending that $5 on the dollar menu to be able to save for the extra things that you want, right? So that trip or whatever you want. So um, if it's physically, like with your body, right? You're not going to eat those things that are going to give you that instant gratification there at that time. You're going to do the little things now in this moment and focus on what you can do in order for you to be successful in the long term, right? So it just kind of blew my mind, the way that I was looking at this here. So if we just go over the kind of results from the actual Twitter poll. Um, so on the Twitter poll here, if you take a look, right? One second. So on the Twitter poll, so there were 17 votes, and 94% said that they wouldn't solve their arm off in order for them to be able to move forward. which is absolutely crazy, right? So it's absolutely crazy to think about that you would rather stay down there until you die of starvation or dehydration or something, you come get eaten by some type of animal, or who knows how long you'll be down there until you die, right? Or you could just cut your arm off. Yeah, it's gonna fucking suck, right? So it's gonna freaking suck, and then be able to get out of there and move forward with your life. Yeah, you're gonna have what would you call it, a handicap for the rest of your life. You'll still be able to live happily, right? You'll still be able to live happily on with your life. If you were to just stay down there without doing that, then you're dead. You're dead from dehydration, starvation, or getting eaten by who knows what. Like I said, it's absolutely crazy, and I wish I could see actually um, who actually took um, this poll, and who is I don't know. So there's seven. I think there's only one person, then one or two people that actually said that they would be able to cut off their arm. And this, I mean, it happens so much in my life where it's just like I don't want to do something in the short term, like um, I just but I have the long term vision, and I mean, there's been times where there's one time where I was out mountain bike riding, right? So I was this was when I was way younger, and I was out mountain bike riding, and I think we went the wrong way in the trail. So I don't know exactly what happened, but I think we got turned around, and the trail that we were on was really super rocky, like almost um, I don't want to say like gravel, but it was a bunch of like rocks all over the place. And we're mountain biking, and uh, then what happens is we started going back because I believe we were lost, right? So I believe we were lost, and we started going back the other way, and uh, I had to walk the bike up the hill or the mountain or whatever, because it was so rocky and so hard to ride up, and it might have been just because I was that out of shape, um, but I wanted to enjoy the ride down, right? So I wanted to enjoy the ride down, and I actually I I got on the bike and I started riding down. I got to a point where I believe there's a big rock in the trail, and I hit my front brakes too hard, and I flipped over like end over end on the bike. I sliced open my knee, and it was nuts. Like there's blood all over the place. I was with my dad actually, and my dad was following along behind me, and I mean, there's nothing that we could do. I mean, there's not. We're way far away, right? We're way far away from any type of help, or way out in the in the hills, and I just had to like say, okay, like this is gonna fucking suck, right? I got up. I actually me and my dad tore my shirt off. We tore my shirt off of my that I was wearing, and I kind of bandaged my knee, and made it like into a tourniquet, and made it to where I would be able to get down the hill without losing too much blood, because there's blood just all over the place. There's I don't know if you guys have ever bled so much to where your blood isn't even red anymore. It's like the purplish color, and it was just it hurt, like hell. I couldn't ride the bike no more. I couldn't bend my leg, but I had to get down this mountain, right? And so at that point, I mean, I just had to suck it up. Like I had to suck it up. It was either I was gonna stay up there and bleed out, and who knows what was gonna happen to me, almost like the guy in the movie, right? Or I was gonna have to just suck it up, know that I was gonna suck, for the next, while I got down the hill, and then after that point, I would be okay, and I would be able to, move forward, and things would be a lot better than at that point. Um, I'm sure you guys have seen. I really like reading. I'm actually reading a book right now. It's called Extreme Ownership. It's by Jocko. I can never say his last name right. I don't know if I say it right. Jocko Willink and Leaf Babin. So I'm reading this book as part of the 75 Hard, and I've read the other ones too. The one with Chris Kyle. So I like reading the books before watching the movies. The American Sniper, and also the one where um they were overran in Afghanistan. So they made a movie about it as well. I forgot what the name is of it. But I mean, you see them, like it's what in the movies or you read in these books where they know that shit's gonna suck. You're getting shot at, and you're having to jump off a cliff, and knowing you're probably gonna break your legs, right? You're gonna probably break your legs. You're gonna probably it's probably gonna hurt, but that's what you're gonna do to survive and be able to move forward. For the long term, it's gonna be what's best for you. So right now, in the short term, it's gonna fucking suck. In the long term, it's gonna be what's best for you. Um, and that's what I wanted to focus on talking about here today is just what it for as far as being successful and these short term wants that you think are needs are not actually needs. So you need to focus on the long term and play the long game. So I actually read a quote. I lost it probably, but it says most failure comes from short term successes. And it's absolutely right. So like you get these small little wins, and then you grow complacent to them, complacent because you think you're winning, right? You get these little wins, and and it's not. So you need to enjoy the journey, right? So you start stacking these little wins, right? So if you start stacking these little wins on a day-to-day basis, right? So if you win today, right, you do what you need to today in the short term, and you do it tomorrow, and then tomorrow, and you do it every single day. There's no way you can lose if you win the day, right? If you're doing those little things for the bigger vision, there's no way that you can lose if you're doing what you need to in the short term instead of getting that instant gratification. Almost like we were talking about last week about the dopamine dumps, right? So there's never been um, a time in history where dopamine was readily available to any type of human, just like humans are today. So we have access to sugar, fat, any type of food that we want, on the go. Like you can get whatever you want for the most part, right? Obviously, and you if you want to, if you want to get laid or that sex dopamine dump, you can dial up Pornhub anytime, things like that. So um, you gotta focus on the long term vision and do what needs to be done in the short term that sucks to um, get those long term goals. Um, and it is gonna suck, but it'll be definitely be worth it all in the end. And so that's all I wanted to talk about for that. And let me load up my Thinkorswim, and we'll go over some tickers. And again, guys, while this is pulling up, so if you guys could leave me some feedbacks, a comment, like, subscribe to my channel, and we do the Sunday stock study every Sunday at about 7:30 p.m. market time. Uh, so that's 7:30 Eastern, and I do like a little bit of podcast, like a topic that we talk about. Usually, I have my co-host Bless that helps me out and whatever, and but I guess he's having trouble with his Wi-Fi or whatnot, so I don't know exactly what's going on. Richard, what up, bro? Have someone to talk to. So yeah, and we also on Fridays I trade live on Fridays on YouTube as well. So if you guys want to join us, we could trade together. I'll answer questions, and I go over pre-market around 6:30, 6:45, and then we'll trade live. And I do daily recap around 9 o'clock or so at that time. So so that is it. Let me see here. I'm also trying to make a better schedule for posting videos on YouTube. So I'm trying to do like I think I'm gonna do like a technical analysis type oops, a technical analysis uh, type series to go over different indicators, how I use them, and things like that. So it'll make things a little bit easier for new traders to be able to. I'm also making my course right now, so I'm trying to wrap it up. It's been forever in the works, but I'm trying to wrap up the course for New Age Wall Street. So the technical videos will help a lot and being put in there as well. And I'll just put it for free on YouTube. So I'm thinking of doing it on Thursdays. So we'll do technical Thursday analysis, right? Videos, and then on Monday or Tuesday, I'll release some type of other just trending topic videos or things like that. So um, oh cool. So we have the futures here. So we're taking a look, and they're all pretty good right now. Um, so this market is just absolutely nuts, guys. Like I want to start like edging in and shorting things. We started talking about like last week where the SPY was working within a range, right? So it was, let me get out a little bit bigger. Yeah, so the SPY is working within this range, and then we had the Iran news, right? So we had the stuff that happened with Iran last week, and then no one was killed in those bombings in the Iraq airbase, and so the market rallied on that news, and we broke highs on the SPY. If you take a look right here, and it's still going up. So um, I don't know how much further we could go up at this point. And I feel like I say this every week. So um, but uh, I mean, my job is uh, just to take advantage of the volatility and trade on the volatility and capitalize on what the market does give. So I try to, try to see what the sentiment is during pre-market and then go from there. So um, now the way that I was kind of taught as far as like the market turning and going a different direction is there's usually like a period of consolidation like this, that we're taking a look right here, and then there's one last push, and then we just kind of run out of buyers, right? We run out of steam, and then it can't sustain the move anymore, and then everyone just starts selling. So everyone just starts selling, and then taking profits, and then eventually we get to a point. So eventually we get to a point where it's below, like where it's a dip, and then there's panic that sets in and everyone starts getting out. So um, if we're looking at that on the SPY, then that would be let me see here. So it would have to, I would say, more towards like 300 or so. Um, so yeah. But yeah, the right now the futures are up pretty good, which looks nice. Um, oh, did you guys see BYND this last week? This is absolutely crazy. I hope all these lines don't. So yeah, so here we go. Um, so BYND the IPO, and then it started just taking off and going crazy, right? So it has this high at 239.71, and you can see these lines where I was keeping track of it, and I wanted to. I believe there's videos where I talked about shorting it. So they were calling where it's going to get back to like $40, and that's the actual value of the company, right? And and so I actually got in this about 130, and I wrote it to like 98 or something when I traded it, and I missed the rest of the move. It went to 98, right? And then it got down to like 70, which I believe 70 or so. If I don't know if you're still here, Richard, but 70 was actually my actual profit target, and then you see how it just kind of based out here and took off. So this actually has room to go. Right now it's at right here where it filled this gap right here, so 95.95, and so then if it breaks over that, we could see where it gets up to about right here, about 109 from the 96. So that could happen this week. Keeping an eye on BYND. Um, Now, one I did want to take a look at here this week is Roku. So Roku has been really strong like this whole last year, and I'm gonna make this two charts. So Roku's looking Oh, this is BYND still. So so Roku was really strong, right? And then now it's this is almost the same setup that it was on BYND. So if we go out a little bit longer here, you could see where it went up and then it spiked, right? So this one had the cup, right? Cup and handle where it tried again. So cup, handle, and then we traded this to the upside here in the room. And I've kind of just been letting it go because it's been stuck in this range. But if we break below this 227, Monday, and break the support, we could definitely see some more downside here, all the way down to 110, 112 or so on Roku. So looking for that short in Roku for this week, keeping an eye on it. Oh, Apple. Apple is very. I mean, Apple's like the whole market right now. Keeping it up. I mean, look at this. This is just nuts. Where it's just the money flowing into it. It's just. I mean, I don't know how you could sustain a move like this. And we start looking at it reversing, right? So you see this kind of doji candle right here, right? So there's some indecision here where we may be losing some steam to come back, at least for a pullback here at this point. So definitely looking for that as well. Um, Let me see. I want to. So you guys know that I looking at. Oh, so yeah. So I want Peloton to start squeezing up, and then look, it's building support here at 2683. So if it goes up and then comes and tests it again and holds, that's cool. If it just ranges right here and then for it to finally break up and then and start squeezing, that would be absolutely awesome. So trying to be patient with it, and you see like these long tails here on the bottom of this candle from Friday. So and it's holding this level really well. So see what happens to see if we get a push on Peloton finally. Just being trying to be patient on it. This I think it could be pretty crazy if it starts going. Um, so two more tickers I want to talk about is Amazon. So if you guys look at Amazon, this has been this was really good from that where they announced the sales prices, the sales that they did for the holidays. So we had this big up move, right? And then it just every time it goes up to about 1920, 1915 or so, it just kind of stalls out. You can see that there's a little bit of resistance here in this level, but we get over this like 1925-ish level, we definitely have room to run after that. So keeping an eye there. I already have my support drawn there, but I don't know if it'll happen this week. But um, I'm looking forward to bounce and keep on going up there as well. Um, and I just want to look at a couple. I haven't done any of my own studies or anything like this. So just want to. Oh, there's Home Depot making a move again up. Sorry guys, my contacts are bugging me. I need to go put my glasses on. Yeah, so it sold off here a little bit on Home Depot, right? I can't really see the price. So and then oh, I wanted to look at Costco. So Costco, so this was one that we talked about last week, and you could see that it just it freaking hit hard, right? Um, so here from 292 to 302, and this still has room to keep on moving up. I do believe so. Keep an eye on Costco. Um, and that's pretty much all the tickers I wanted to go over. I think the last one is just I wanted to take a look at is Tesla. So this has been my baby, but I believe they are announcing earnings next week on the 29th. So not this week, but the week after, or not even that. I think that in like 2 weeks. Um, so the premium prices are going to start getting expensive and things, and I might not play play until then. But I really want to see this break 500 and get to 550. So this has been fun to watch. So it's been fun to trade. It's been fun to watch. It's really cool, to see. So um, yeah. So I mean, if we get a little bit of a pullback, that's cool. If it comes back to 460 or so, and for more upside, that definitely welcome it. And I wanted to get up to 560 eventually, so, or 550 eventually. So keeping an eye on it. And if they have, if they're able to, fib on their earnings or put out positive earnings, I believe they'll definitely get it. So um, pretty cool. But all right, guys. So that's pretty much it for today's Sunday stock study. Just wanted to let's see here. So just wanted to go over that. So do the things that suck in the short term, guys. Do the things that suck and be disciplined in the short term, so that you can live forever in glory and live your long term visions, and you'll feel so much better accomplishing these huge visions and goals instead of giving the little gratifications in the small term. Use your stop losses. Get out of trades when you need to, and so then you're able to trade the next day instead of blowing up your account or slowly bleeding out your account because you're being stubborn and staying in trades longer than you need to or not using a stop loss. But that's it for me, guys. Make sure again that you like and subscribe the video. Also leave a comment. Turn on the bell notification so you notify when we go live on Fridays and Sundays. And we'll catch you guys on the next video.